Alright everybody, welcome back to the Story of Awesomeness, and welcome back to the balcony scene. It has been some time. I have been successfully working on the editing of the first chapter. And this week we will be focusing on getting some more stuff done for the balcony scene, and after that I actually want to continue on fixing. I will show you just one sec. I need to grab it up, otherwise I won't be able to see it. So I will go to my channel, probably. That's the best way to do it. So what I want to change next week is gonna be probably this bit right here. So that's what I'm gonna be changing up. I want to create a far more better looking drawing right here, because this is actually already 3 years old, and well, gotta keep up to date, I guess. So yeah, no further ado, let's get started, shall we? So, I have been successfully being able to cook dinner today. I finally got around getting some meat from the local butcher. It took a while because they were actually on vacation for a whole week, which caused a little bit of a hassle sometimes because I do not have a freezer. I do have a cooler, but I don't have a freezer. So it's very problematic when you have meat laying around, and then the next day, it's not very fresh anymore. So yeah, I had that problem. Fixed it, nonetheless, not to say the least. But yeah, it was quite a hassle. That's for sure. All right. Come on. So what I'm doing now is actually adding in the rock part right here. So I'm adding in rocks, tiny little, how do you say that again? Pebbles? There you go, pebbles, yes. I knew the word was around the corner. So yeah, pebbles. I was creating pebbles, and these pebbles will be looking nicely. Once this whole line is done, once this whole pebble, how do you say that? Road? Probably? No. Floor. It's not the floor, it's actually a rollout floor. Probably that's the word I'm looking for. I'm not quite convinced. Allow me to just let's see if we probably carpet. Yeah, a pebble carpet, but without the whole where everything is made of a stone road. So technically it should be a road then, right? Stone road, pebble road. In either way, it's a lovely thing to create. It's the only downside is it is sometimes a bit hard because, well, not everything here and there is how do you say, up to date on how to do it. And I'm not very good at creating the textures all the time, but I'll try my very best here to get the texture the right way. I also need to be taking in consideration the perspective, and that is going to be probably the most annoying thing to do. And that is keeping up with the perspective here. So as you can see, there is some issue here and there, so this is all fine, and then you see that the line is technically drawn here, but the line here is not full. So I need to work my way around it again. Around this bit right here. Keeping these things in check. And then, move on to the next bit. Of course, I cannot create too much of an hassle, so I need to make sure that the line art for this is very, very tiny. So I need to keep my hand on the control, keeping the pressure at the bare minimum sometimes, but also sometimes a bit harder. So I will have like this, and then I have like this, and then I have this. So I need around here, I need to be around this to create, but then in the tiny format, which takes some practice. Today I had like probably 50 minutes before I was finally able to draw again on that size because it was quite a bit of like, all right, how much do I need? And then I even practiced, as you can see, practice right there. Yeah. So keeping that under control was a bit of an issue sometimes, but not to waste any talent or whatsoever. It did turn out pretty good, so that's all fine. So yeah, working on this, getting things done, finally being able to have good dinner is a hell of an achievement because trust me, I don't like tofu. It is absolutely the horrendous part of everything else. Schnitzel would do fine, but that also takes a lot of space, and I cannot have a lot of space when I'm having cooking because it takes a lot of attention to make sure that all the heat is warmed up properly, and in most cases that is not the case. Who would have thought that who would have thought that having a certain temperature on your pans is absolutely horrendous for some types of cooking. One of the cookings that is absolutely horrible to do is technically cooking with butter a bit, because the temperature is even every single fucking time. The amount of butter that is necessary to bake the food is a bit higher. And I like to always cook with a little bit less fat, less fat, and that is, sometimes difficult when you don't have a choice in the matter. But alright, I figured out some things here and there that I could fix. So compensating for the fat, I actually did do the thing that was like, adding a little bit more to it, and then adding a little bit more vegetables to it. But in the end, the main thing that ruined the dish in most cases was actually the tofu that I had for 2 days, and I was like, yes, 2 days of this, absolutely hell no. Next time, don't do it. Next time I will buy myself some other food and then eat that instead, because ooh, my stomach was not happy about that food, and my taste for food was gone. It's like, this tastes absolutely at nothing. Um, First of all, it was too salty. Tofu was too salty. Who would have thought? And then the second of all, I could not add soya to it because, well, it was already salty enough. So I didn't had enough. I didn't have spices to fix it up, and that left a lot of issues around. All right, now we're gonna see where did we left. Now that bit is a bit drawn out. So now we need to get this up fixed. All right, fine. So yeah, I fixed it myself. Most of it was experimenting with some food. Like I bought some fish from the local fisherman market, so that actually helped on the Friday. And the other days were a little bit of a iffy. Like, all right, do I want to eat now? Do I want to eat the tofu now, or do I not want to eat the tofu? So I decided 2 days. At 2 days, like I believe it was Thursday and Wednesday. Yeah, probably. So I eat it then the tofu, and then the rest of the days I actually eat it like technically vegetables with mushrooms instead of meat. Well, I did bought one time. I bought meat. That was on the Saturday. On the Saturday, I believe. On the Sunday, yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I did bought some meat, but oh boy. The main problem with the supermarket meat is actually that it doesn't have good quality meat. And quality meat is very, very important when you don't want to have a lot of fat on your meat. Because I prefer, only muscle meat, because the muscle meat is very easy to digest. And therefore, less time to digest, less energy wasted, less energy consumed. Therefore, you can just do just your regular things without getting wait, or you can just do exercises without doing too many exercises because you don't have to, burn all of that uh, accidental fat towards it. And I was like, yeah, that is exactly how I wanted to do it. But yeah, I compensated that, but I compensated the fat with the rice. So instead of 50 gram rice, I actually went with 30, and that actually technically fixed most of it. Not everything, though, not everything, but a lot of it was actually fixed by that. All right, now we need to go here again, and then go this way. This spot, yes, this spot we need to fix. So we're going to go up, down, and then we eventually have a straight line, and then we can finally continue with the next line. It's always fun to see that, the how I draw lines is absolutely not the same how other people should draw lines. So it's like, you're drawing lines, eh? And I'm like, yeah, I'm drawing lines. How are your lines? I'm saying like, no, my lines are not good at all. Because technically I'm not very good at drawing straight lines. It's I prefer, sharp turns and, be like, yeah. And then me going like that, yeah. Spooky ghost. I love it. But we're not here for the ghosts. We're not here for the ghosts. We're here for pebbles. Lots of it. And as you can see, I'm drawing some kind of cubes, but I'm varying with the pattern. So what I'm always doing is that I'm looking for what kind of pattern that I want these pebbles to represent, and then, turn around it, and don't make it too obvious, so that when you turn it around like this, and you turn it like this, you won't see it happen too much. So this is technically the size of the drawing, right? This is the drawing size. You want to make sure that when you draw in perspective, you want to make sure that around here, I believe, around here, you want these pebbles to be a little bit more bigger. So you want the pebbles a bit bigger there, and then you want here tiny, and then you want to go upwards in size. The only downside of that is that it is sometimes a bit hard to do so. And, that is a thing in the past that, for instance, here, there is a lot of issues. That has to do with all right. There you go. Now that looks like a decent pebble amount. Now we need to close this again, and then we need to have that again. And we need this. Yes, we need to have the casual lines to make sure that we know where the hell we need to go with the pebbles. But yeah, you can see that I made a mistake here in the midsection a bit. I'm trying to fix it, but it's not always fixable that much. But it's doable. It's doable. So I should not be able. I don't have to remove all the hard effort, all the hard earns. But that's how fragile these pebbles are. If I screw up one bit of it, boom, everything gone. Every progress there is, the unbelievability of it, it's all gone. And that's what I always intend to do. I'm trying to build up the pebbles, get the pebbles up and running, and then move onwards to the next without causing too much of an issue. But of course, not every pebble is the same, not every pebble needs to be the same, and that is important. Because the variety makes sure that the eye is catching it, but it doesn't make the eye, tired. That's the least thing you want to have it happen. And yeah, pebbles are fun. Definitely fun to draw. It's just a very big downside if I want to continue drawing these pebbles. And you can already see that all these pebbles are actually already adding up to a lot of image size. The projection is not the problem. It's the layers, because I'm currently using a lot of layers compared to how many layers I actually need. So I might have some issues there, but yeah, the projection is always a thing, and layers is also a thing. I just need to keep it in mind that when I draw, I can draw on this side, I can draw this, or I can draw like that. It's all the same, but you can see that there are some issues. One of the issues is if I draw like this, I won't be able to see fully of how the lines are drawn, because I actually technically need to have all these lines. It creates a pattern of, you know, a straight road. Yes, that's the word. A straight road. And that's what I want. I want this balcony scene to be like, hey, you walk this path, and then, you know, you find your path here. And that's the whole point. You walk the path, and then you go to the path. The main downside of this, of course, is that it will take a goddamn long time before I will be able to realize or recognize, like, hey, I did some wrong things here. And for instance, right now I can see that this right here is not fully straight, so I should definitely add some more pebbles. Of course, I don't want to. Create too many pebbles or create too big of a pebbles, because that will destroy the credibility. Which then also creates a problem, because that will cause the eye of the beholder to be tired. We cannot have that happen. If the eye of the beholder gets tired, the image will be lost. Or at least, you know, the focus on the image is lost. And that's not what we want. We want to make sure that the image we want to make sure that the image is always at the same amount. Like, you know, you see something and you're like, okay, I see this. Then you see that, then you see this, then you see that, then you see this, and then you follow it up until you have seen the whole picture, and then you can be done. Instead of, I have seen this. Wait, that's copy paste, that's copy paste. Okay, I'm done. Instead of, you know, guiding the eye towards multiple locations, like a tourist truck. You know, you want to visit some tourist places, but instead you are visiting the sewers. That's not fun. I could complain about, you know, the sewers. I could show you that the sewers are not fun, but you know, in this touring bus, it would be nice if there is no sewers at all, because, you know, they smell a bit funny. Don't want to have that. So yeah, we don't want to have the eye already giving up towards us, like, hey, you should definitely give up here, because this looks ugly as sin. And yeah, we cannot have that. We cannot have that. Unless, of course, you are destined to want to make it look, you know, in a certain way, then yes, you should definitely take it. And then, you know, you need to improve upon that image. But what I'm trying to do here is creating rocks, tiny little pebbles, little stones that are everywhere. Like, you know, the back side is pebbles that are a little bit more round, and now we finally have the structure of, you know, bricks. Then these bricks are gonna be bigger bricks in the background, in the further away, and then we also have the giant bricks around it. So that will also create a good pattern. Probably that's the word for it. Yeah, pattern. Let's go with that. So yeah, a lot of things is going on here. We can see again. We see now that we are actually technically in a straight pattern, so we now can continue focusing on the midsection again. Oi, midsection. So yeah, it's good to understand that, you know, not everything is gonna be the same as it's supposed to be. But it's important to realize that when you are drawing these little things, that you need to keep the geometric appeal to it. No, geometric appearance. There you go. The perspective needs to be good. There you go. That's important. Perspective is half the things to do. Like, perspective can be a little bit swayed off sometimes for goofy characters or characters that don't need to be, looking realistic. But if you have a throne room, if you have a bloody damn balcony scene, the background does need to have a good perspective. Otherwise, it won't be looking like the characters standing on the balcony scene or in the balcony scene. Because that's important. You want to have the characters to feel like they are, standing in it, talking in it, making fun jokes, or whatever you want to do. You always need to make sure that the perspective in the room is right, so that the characters can just move around freely without any issues. You could get away with it if you are like in a driving scene, then yes, perspective can be a little bit blurred out, but then still the car needs to be correct. Otherwise you won't have anything to look at properly. Yeah, man. I also pressed this button way too many times. It scares the living hell out of me. This, right here, this. Because this can change up the colors, and that is a very problematic thing. Because I won't be spotting it there earlier, but I will try to fix that earlier. Let's see, I need to fix it here. I need to get right over there. Alright, let's go here. And, yeah. I've been doing quite well lately. I've been fixing a lot of things here and there. I've been editing chapter 1, as I said before. I've been cooking some new stuff, experimenting with some stuff, and yeah. I'm happy to be back at doing this drawing at least. It's always fun to do these drawings. They're so relaxing. The same goes with the speed drawings, don't get me wrong there. It's just that, I want this to be done by 3 weeks, I believe. Yeah, 3 weeks. 3, 4, max. Max 4. 1 month, max. Because I want to see if I can get the I want to actually continue on the characters' designs. Let's put it that way. I want them to be drawn more. Oh boy, my head. Bleh. Okay, everything's back again. Good. Stupid head. Every single time when I'm trying to do a stream and then I'm way too focused, the head is always like, "Hey, remember that you cannot do this without losing any energy. Thanks. Just a friendly reminder." And like, yeah, thanks, head. So yeah, I just had a lot of energy drained out. Well, that's gonna make me hungry tomorrow, definitely. Or at least tonight at least. Well, at least I have some grapes left around, so that's all fine. And then tomorrow I will be continue working on this, and then I will probably already be halfway here, and then we can start on fixing the rest of it as well. Let's see, where can we now do it? Now we need to get to the other side. And note how I'm not going to be using mirror here. It's deliberate. If I use mirror here, the eye will not be very satisfied. Because all the pebbles are because the pebbles are all differently placed and the texture is uneven. It creates a kind of feeling that they have been laid down, and B is that the eye won't get tired of seeing similarities, which did happen in the at the pillars, for instance, at the first at the throne room. I will show you what I mean here because it's far easier to explain with a picture instead of talking way too blurry. All right, there you go. So I have been copying these pillars, as I said before, and there is a mirror mode here, but you cannot see it. It's I have deliberately added the sigils in it, which is important. So because of that, everything here is quite unique and looking quite unique, which is important. Now, if we take the balcony scene, for instance, the balcony scene is gonna have only one of these square tiles that is represented. It's not gonna have the big tile, no, it has the pebble tile, which is this one, which has a far more unique pattern towards it. And I need to make sure that I do that. So it's red with dark red and then, you know, orange, yellow through it. And that is going to be a very hard one to do proper. So I need to just correct every single bloody damn pebble most of the time, probably. And then also with the balcony scene, I also have this, for instance. I have the pillars right here. But because of the pillars are not because the pillars are still on equal terms, I can technically do the mirroring here again, so that's all gonna be fine. It's just that I need to make sure that I have different patterns within the within the things. So that's all fine. Same goes for here, but this one is gonna be different because this one is gonna be the big pebble path, which needs to be looking different. It needs to be looked like it's laid down. So yeah. Good day. Good luck on your progress. Thanks, Wolfie. Thanks. Yeah, but that is where we're heading. We're trying to get these pebbles up and running, and then we need to add in these stone slabs within it. I'm gonna keep them just because I can. But yeah, of course, it's gonna be shown. Where do I need to be here? Let me double check. Yes, this part. This part needs to be drawn in because this part is now. Hanging to the left, and I cannot have that. I need everything to be equal, like a weight on that balancing thing. I don't know. Yeah, like a weight on a counterweight. You need to make sure that everything is the same. Of course, you cannot have everything the same. That's stupid. It's not possible physically even to have everything the same if you are not using a mirror mode. But unless you are very very skilled. But yeah, there will always be certain types of things that might be a little bit off, and that is why mirror mode is there, because you can then do things the same way. The only downside is your eye will notice. And because your eye will notice, you need to figure out a way around it. And I know how. Like I said before, the same way as I did with the pillars, I will do it again here with the pillars. Because technically I need to make sure that they are consistent. Alright. So, yeah. I think that's it for today on talking. I don't know anything else to say, actually. I just know that I had a good day. It's only freezing like, what, -4 degrees in spring? Which is very weird, by the way. Not supposed to be freezing here. Absolutely not. It's an island nation, so no. It's supposed to be goddamn hot already. It's supposed to be 15 degrees till 12 degrees Celsius instead of goddamn winter. It's like, yes, winter. I forgot about that whole thing that's called winter. We didn't have any winter, and now suddenly it's winter in spring, so it's very, very, very disturbing. Like, I should have been in my garden today. I can't because it's winter. But yeah, I'm gonna be making my own vegetable place in my front yard. Gonna do my very best there. I already have books for it. Hello, Blue. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, to you too. But yeah, I'm gonna make my own vegetable garden in the front yard. People always say front yard is the best yard, and I don't mind if things get stolen in the front yard. It's not my big a deal. It's that I make successful harvest, that's all. It's like, yes, I made my own food. Take that, me. I have successfully done it. I have feeded all the dead leaves to my vegetables, and now I'm eating the dead leaves by using these vegetables to eat them. Yeah, it's that's how I always see it. Like, I'm not a very how do you say, a very person that takes care of plants, so a vegetable garden would be fine. It's like, yep, there is not going to be taking a lot of care in it, especially if you have pumpkins or something like that stupid. and they require a lot of less of how do you say that, effort to keep good. Same goes for leeks. It's quite easy. Just place the leek seed down, make sure it is watery, and then just watch the news of like, hey, it's today's gonna be a wetty wetter. I mean, today is gonna be raining. Wetty wetter. This is why I cannot speak and draw at the same time. My brain is like, yes, speaking and drawing. Very, very fascinating combination. Maybe you should pay more attention upon what you're speaking. And I'm like, no, I need to pay attention on what I'm drawing because that's far more important than what I'm speaking. It's my old-fashioned grammar. It's like, yes, pumpkins, great. I always like pumpkin soup. It's awesome. I also like leek and onions. They are very easy, and garlic. It's also very easy. But the garlic you can actually raise in the things. I like to raise cacti or slash succulents. Less effort as well. All right. Oh, nice. Nice, Wolfie, that you have been raising a lot as well. Allow me to just look it up because I am not good at knowing what the hell you just said. And how do you speak it out? Cactuses. Ah. Those things are delicious. The juice from them are so good. If you have the ones that are edible, of course. The ones that are edible are so delicious, but I could not raise them in my front yard, by the way. My front yard is wet. And now it's freezing, so it's wet, freezing season. You're probably wondering how much plants can sustain that. Well, potatoes, probably. Potatoes, lots of potatoes. That would be the easiest farm in my life. Like, what are you gonna farm today? I'm gonna do some potatoes. Yippee-yi-yi. Yeah, I could do those all the time if I want to. Every season. Potatoes. What did you make today? Potatoes. Nah, I don't like potatoes. They are not my favorite. They are not my favorite thing to eat. It's they can be useful. They can be useful, but they are so goddamn how do you say that? Not sugary, caloried. Yeah. It takes a long time to digest those things. Which makes them absolutely not the greatest if you are not doing anything at all, or, doing only exercises 3 times a day, but the exercises are tiny compared to a person that goes to the gym. But it's not good to have such things because you cannot digest them in time, and then you can get a lot of trouble from there. So always keep that in mind when you are eating potatoes. It's not one of the most fastest things to go away. But if you want to go for a hike or climb mountains, then yeah, potatoes, best things ever. Potato stew with swine. Oh, so good. Don't do it when you don't have exercises to go to. So if you want to go to the gym and you want to do exercises, eat potatoes before. That will work. Because they are high calorie burning conditions. The same goes with rice. But the fun thing about rice is you don't have to clean it most of the time because you just buy it and then you don't have to clean it. With potatoes, it's literally, even if you buy them at the store, you need to clean them. You need to cut them, and then you need to make sure that they are rightfully cooked. Otherwise, you're gonna get potato poison. Great. So yeah, rice is such a easy way of doing things. It's like, yes, rice, my favorite thing. But the main downside of rice is that it is easy, accessible. But yeah, it's a good product. Rice is very nice and easy to do. It's very dirt as cheap. I can get 4 times the rice for 1 potato, if I'm correct. That that would be quite Irish. They are they are they are they are they are tra- uh, stretch she what the hell does that mean? What does this mean? A stretch. A storage carbonate. Yes. Yes. The same goes for rice. It's also a storage one. But with rice, it's far easier to maintain it. Like, you have multiple types of rice, but I always use white rice because it's easy. I even use the most easiest one. I'm even using the most bastard one of them all. The one that is technically only used for in pudding. So rice pudding. It's technically, I believe it's basmati rice. So it's made for stews, uh, rice dew, and all that stuff. But I'm using it to cook because it's so easy and so easy to get cleaned up and all that stuff. But yeah, 50 grams of rice is good enough for a whole person. If you eat 100 grams, you will probably need to go to the gym. That's how much rice does to you. It doesn't fill you. That's not the whole point of rice. It gives you energy. That's the whole point of rice and potatoes. It gives you energy. If you want to have your belly filled, however, you need things like a vegetable. Ooh, I know, it's scary already. Vegetables, I know. But yeah, vegetables are very easy to get here, like onions. Very great thing to have. Garlic is also a very good one. Leeks, spring onions, broccoli. I would not recommend broccoli right now, considering the prices here. Jeez. 2 goddamn euros for a whole damn broccoli. No thanks. No thanks. I'll pass. I'll rather go for leeks. Why would I go for leeks? Because they're dirt cheap and they're quite good and effective at doing their thing, which is giving me the vitamins to keep on moving. And beans is also a very cheap one to go for. Beans is what, 80 cents for 100 grams, so nah. Beans are very easy. And then you need to go for the split beans, not the ones that is the other ones, right? Is it split beans? Yeah, split beans, right? Yeah, they're the ones that are stupidly tiny. Not the ones that are like frog eye beans. Those not. Those not. They are quite big, quite expensive, and they are not suitable for my stew. And they are not very usable in rice at all. And then you can combine it with some soya, some curry if you really want to. Make it taste like whatever you want it. And then the meat. And the meat is just gonna be stew meat because it only contains muscle and therefore it's very easy digestible and you won't have to worry about anything at all. I made Brussels sprouts. They turned out good. Sweet. Brussels sprouts. Yeah, Brussels sprouts are great. The good thing about them is that you can combine them with a bit of butter to make them a little bit more sweeter, and that makes them very good to eat. Oh, and we're now talking about food. My girlfriend made pork with carinats with rice and beans into a burrito also. Oh. You know what the fun thing is about pork? It's very good with rice. Sadly, it's one of those things I like to avoid. I like to avoid pork in most cases because pork has such a high fat comparison towards runt. It's not as healthy as a lifestyle, but once in a time, when I feel like, all right, I deserve myself a treat, I always go for bacon. Bacon with rice. Oh, bacon with rice and leeks. And then combine it with soy sauce. Oh, and then if you want to do it even better, you can do it with teriyaki sauce as well. and then you have the most sweetest, delicious thing ever, and then go for bacon instead of pork, then you have a very tasty rice. And I'll tell you this, it will fill you up. It is very energetic. The only downside is, of course, you need to do some exercises beforehand. Because yeah, it's not one of the healthiest things. It's very sweet and nice, but it's not healthy. The same goes for goes for fries. Deep frying fries is deep fry fries. Frying potatoes. I did that actually. I did actually made potato fries. I actually made it myself. I did it once. It was quite lovely to do, but oh boy, it was a bit messy. But I did it. I goddamn deep fried fries. I actually made my own fries and then I deep fried them, but with oil. I also made myself lumpias and fried them as well. So that was actually also very nice. It was one of my experiments to see if can I make this? How does this work? What do I need for it? It turns out it's quite easy. I don't even have to do anything with it actually. The only thing you need to get most of the time is pre-cooked meat. Or you could also do a very different approach, is getting very tiny chopped up meat. And then you don't have to do the deep frying because it is already then cooked. I would not advise it with chicken though. It's not a very good experience. Nope. It's too risky. What you could do technically is with runt, but pork is much better for making lumpias because spring rolls. There you go. Much more easier for the English audience. Spring rolls. You could make pork spring rolls. They are much more tastier. And they can cook quite well, but the runt version of it is much more healthier and less of a problem, actually. The only downside is it might be a little bit less soft in the underbelly. Yeah, I get heartburns when I eat pork. When I eat pork, anything. So only bacon is worth it for me. Ooh. Well, bacon is also worth only for me. I prefer bacon over pork. Although I do like it in the when the how do you say that? When Christmas comes around, I always visit Germany. I try to visit Germany because I do like the markets there. They are so fun. And the markets are all about glue wine and food. And then you have pork stands. Grilled pork on bread. Oh, that is so worth it. It's not healthy at all, but so worth it. So yeah, whenever I go to a hike, whenever I want to go for a hike, or I want to do a very big walking session or whatever, or I want to visit a place that is not around the corner, yeah, I prefer myself some more tasty food compared to cheap ass me, because cheap ass me is actually quite easy to understand. It's like, you know how expensive it is to buy groceries? It's like $10 for groceries is very hard to do. It's a very fun challenge though. What is runt? Oh, runt. Cow meat. Moo meat. Moo. Runt. There you go. I'll type it in. Runt. There you go. If I type it in here, immediately we have het rund. Ook wel het huisrund genoemd. Het is een eenhoevige uit het geslacht bos van familie der holhoornige, de bovia, het rund. Ah, yes, cattle. See, even Wikipedia knows what I'm talking about. Moo. Moo, 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 moo. Yes, it's cow. Yeah, it's a chat cows. Chat cows best meat provider ever. If you ever see meat, and then you have stew meat, and then you can just type in stew meat, yeah, wait, hold on, I mistyped it. Stew meat. There you go, stew meat. Stew meat. Come on, stew meat, not stew mac. Stew meat, please. Stew meat. There you go. Stew meat. Ah, look at that. Ah, yes. So this meat right here, this is lamb if you want to, but you can also get these stews right here. That is the perfect. That's a perfect picture right there. That's stew meat. The main fun thing about the main fun thing about run meat is that it is so goddamn delicious. It's very tasty, and that is beef. Okay, lol. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know, right? My explanation of runt. I always forget that English is different than Dutch. It's like, I wonder what I need to say. Ah, yes, beef. Why would you say it beef? Beef, 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 beef. There you go, beef. Well, technically you could say beef, but it's also a word here, but we prefer to say gewoon rundvlees. Gewoon cow meat, rundvlees, rund. Haha, there you go. You understand where my heading is coming now from. It's like, yes, we always refer to the cow compared to beef, to our beefy boys. What are you eating today? I'm eating a beefy boy. Oh boy. That sounds you quite have a beef with him then, don't you? And like, yes, indeed. Yes. So many rocks to go to. All right, let's see how much time we have left. Yes. It reminds me of singing California Cows commercial. They are silly to see. Oh my god, they have California cow commercials. Amazing. The only cows we see are in the grasslands. Oh, the I see at least. The grassland cows are not bad though. They are quite charming. They look cute, and then when you eat them, they are even better. Yes, I am absolutely taking no regret whatsoever if I eat meat. It's like, yes. This is also when I go to vote. I always vote for the people that are voting for the animals, and I'm like, yes, vote for the animals, and I'm like, yes, I will vote for the animals. I want to have good meat, so therefore I vote for the animals. And then the animal party is always like, how dare you? And I'm like, bitch, I'm eating my chicken nugget right now. You don't have to blame me that I voted for you, even though I'm eating my chicken nugget after I'm voting. And that's the whole point of voting for the voting for the party of animals. It's great. Just vote for the party of animals, then eat yourself some nice cow meat and treat yourself to some delicious hamburgers. So good. It's such a satisfaction, by the way. It's very great. Probably already people see the irony in it, but yeah, I find it very funny, and I find it still useful because, well, they want to have the best for the animals. So I'm like, yeah, you can have the best for the animals. Just don't screw over the farmers. Then that's all. And then when they don't, then it's still good. Although the farmers and the party of animals are not always at the same part. Sometimes they are, sometimes they don't. Oh well. But yeah, I will never change my vote. I always will vote for the party of animals because I'm very fun at throwing parties. So could you imagine that? Just a party animal just a party animal that votes for the party of animals. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not good at parties, but I like to vote for the party of animals because it's very funny. And I always like to have my chicken nuggets. It's easy way out. Alright. I think I will leave it here, right? Yeah, I have been a little bit dizzy right now looking at it, and I see that the quality is a bit from left to right sometimes. The great circle of life, yes. So, We went halfway down the system. We succeeded successfully at drawing almost a straight line. Damn it. Almost. Almost. So close. So close. But yes, behold, Pebbles. We're now halfway, and I will leave it here. And then tomorrow we might be already almost at the bottom. Depends on how addicted I am going to be at drawing tomorrow early in the morning. But yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed. And thanks all for watching, and I hope I'll see you all next time. Until then, I want to wish you all a lovely day, and